Hey Toolerinos, I've got a flea teak tool haul here. That's right, flea teak. The place I stopped at was called Flea Teak. I was looking for a flea market or something on the way home from our vacation, and this is the place we found, and it turned out to be pretty awesome. So I picked up one of these enamelware steel pans. You know, it's intended to be a baking pan, but I'm going to use it as a tray for soaking things in evaporust or catching oil from lawnmowers or go-karts or mini bikes or whatever. But here you go, $5. I thought was a pretty fair deal. Has a couple little chips, which I don't mind since, you know, I'm going to use it for stuff in the shop. Next up, a spectacularly repaired hammer. I've never seen a hammer ripped in half before. Has anyone out there ever repaired a hammer by welding it back together? I don't know how that would have happened. Could you really pull on a nail hard enough to rip off the back half of the hammer? I don't get it. But it looks like a really nice weld. For the most part, you got a little hole there, but the rest of it is pretty well done. And the head is not loose at all on this handle. It does need, a cleanup to make it functional, but the handle says standard number 1. There, maybe you can make it out now. On this side, and on this side, I'm not sure what the top line says, but then it says Sequachi number 105 for 16-ounce hammer. So maybe on camera there, someone could read that and figure out what that says. I'll play the light across it so we can kind of maybe see the letters better. I don't know. But it's certainly interesting. And for $3, it followed me home. Next up is a rigid pipe wrench, 14-inch. And this was the one size of rigid that I don't have. Well, one size. This is one of the sizes of a rigid pipe wrench that I don't currently have. But it has really good engravings, and it has the patent number. When looking stuff up in the past, I found out that having the patent number makes it an older one, so I was happy to get an older one. It does have a little bend, if you can kind of make that out, but I think I can straighten that out. But I think it'll be a fine addition to my adjustable wrench / pipe wrench collection. As you can tell, I got quite a few additions from this trip. Here was another $5. And, it's a Stilson style pipe wrench, also 14-inch. But the cool part, especially for me, is it is an Erie Toolworks. See if you guys can read that. I don't know, I went to school in Erie, and I was always, a little bit fascinated with the history, the industrial history of Erie, Pennsylvania. So whenever I find something Erie, I like to pick it up. Next up, one of these Coase style adjustable wrenches. Has been very well loved, we'll call it that. The jaws are, terrible, the hammer end is terrible, but it is not cracked or broken on these two straps. It was only $4, and I was kind of liking that, the wood scales are missing, so you can see how the main piece, is this middle part, and it's held in place with this pin that's loose in there, besides this part, which is peened over. So I thought, well, it's kind of cool to see the inside of that. And I don't know that I'll ever fix it up, but I'll probably just clean it up and make a wall hanger out of it, just to be almost like a cutaway, right? Because the scales are missing. Next up is a Tremo Stilson style wrench, and I have been collecting Tremos, and I did not have the 8-inch. So I've got to double check which one I don't have, but this might be the last one I needed. And it was only $3. Oh, it was only $3, and they named it Primo wrench instead of Trimo. But it has a patent date here on this part, so, or a patent number. I don't know, I'll look that up. If I find it, I'll put it on the video. Alright, so that was my flea teak tool haul. Not too bad. Found some great items. Yeah, they were, you know, not as cheap as things I normally find, but being that this was an actual store and not just a yard sale, I don't think you can do much better than that price-wise. It was a pretty awesome store, and I would recommend, if you're in the neighborhood, to check it out. Well, I did pull out the Trimo pipe wrenches that I have. This one is missing the little pieces to keep the take up the slack in there, but I think I can actually make some replacements of those if I can't find any. But I have an 18, so it's a Trimo 18, and I've got a 12, and I've got the 10, and now I've picked up the 8. So I'm suspecting there should be a 14 and a 16. So that's what I'm missing. 2 sizes between the 12 and the 18. I thought about it, and I was right. I do have a bigger one. That is a 24-inch Trimo. The 24. Look at the moving jaw on the 24 is bigger than the 8-inch, the whole wrench. It's a monster. I almost forgot my biggest one. It's a 36-inch Trimo. But it has a very banana-shaped handle. Not sure how someone managed to bend it so cleanly. It almost looks factory. It's done so well. So maybe they needed to get around an obstruction, and maybe that was their initials, LSK, I think. But here's the 8-inch for comparison to the 36. Teeny tiny. So there you go. Now that's all my Trimos. I don't know. Does anyone actually know how to pronounce that? Let me know in the comments. Hey Toolerinos, looks like we have another candidate for president this year. His platform is to drain the patina ooze swamp and put a tube of flitz in every shop. You want him in the White House? You need him in the White House. Make America shiny again. And check out the cool magnet. It looks like he's flying. Well, I guess he's a bird, right?